first read the Bible. I actually first read the Bible. And after I was done reading the Bible, I read the Quran, and it confirmed that the Bible just like it claims. So I think a lot of people, what they don't know is because they assume that people who call themselves Christians actually practice out of the Bible. But when you really look at the Bible, there's discrepancy in it. But you can go to any downtown city and see people who are addicted. They're sick, I understand that, but what they're also doing is, number one, they're destroying their parents. I was technically born a Muslim, but just looking back, I grew up in a communist country, and really communism was infused in all aspects of Islam. So I don't think anybody knew what Islam is, even though they call themselves Muslims. It was more of a cultural experience for most people than actual deen. And then I became an atheist, and I was an atheist until I was 30. And, just one day I was just sitting there in my apartment, and a thought came to my head: why do you believe the things that you believe? And for some reason, I just kind of turned to the holy books, and I first read the Bible. I actually first read the Bible, and after I was done reading the Bible, I read the Quran, and it confirmed that the Bible just like it claims. So I think a lot of people, what they don't know is because they assume that people who call themselves Christians actually practice out of the Bible, but when you really look at the Bible, there's discrepancy in it. So once I read the Quran, it was several things that hit me all at once. The truth of what it was saying, the fact how it knew what every human being thinks. And the first, if you read Surah Al-Baqarah, right there at the beginning, I found myself. It defines three types of people: those who believe and what they're like, those who disbelieve. And I was them, it says, as for those who disbelieve, whether you warn them or not, they will not believe. And that's who I was. So honestly, man, the fact that I became a Muslim is a miracle. I think a lot of people's approach to science is actually faith, because they either don't know how to read the research papers, or even if they know how to read the research papers and the statistics, they don't know how to evaluate methodology. So what they are doing is depending on the scientists to tell them what is right from wrong. And if you are actually, once you gain the ability to evaluate all those things, you realize there's still a lot of conjecture in there that is pretending to be science. Science should be facts, things that are reproducible or directly observable, right? A lot of what people claim to be science isn't it. And it's destruction. If you become greedy, you're destroying your own community. Everything Allah made haram, drugs. Who destroys community? Look at Kensington Avenue, for example, in Philadelphia, one of the biggest drug avenues. But you can go to any downtown city and see people who are addicted. They're sick, I understand that. But what they're also doing is, number one, they're destroying their parents. They're destroying their family. And then they're destroying their community by going around and stealing and begging and all of that, right? They're just consuming resources, and that is what cancer is. I mean, it's like... Number one, it doesn't matter what drug, even with weed, even with just marijuana, man, it changes your personality. You start avoiding your family. You get lazy. You can have bad trips. You can, so alcohol, for example, is the worst as far as social consequences, right? The fights and all that. Meth, I mean, go ahead and so start, taking higher and higher doses of Adderall. Pretty soon, you're going to start to experience paranoia. And I've actually had several people who basically developed schizophrenia, meaning, they're hearing things, they're paranoid, all that, from Adderall. I mean, all these things, it may not happen to everyone, but look left and right, because, it's going to happen to some people. And if you're one of them, there's a problem.
And we have to reverse engineer how the Salah itself is the first step to pioneering change and pioneering a better life. Not, falling victim to shaitan telling us always, how are you going to pray? Are you a munafiq? Are you a hypocrite? You can't pray. A good Muslim doesn't pray and smoke and drink and commit zina. It doesn't matter. That's just a trick of shaitan to keep you where you're at.